Today we're gonna be checking out some of the most shocking moments in K-pop.
Of the last 10 years.
You're right.
It begins, ladies and gentlemen, with none other than Jessica from Girls' Generation, leaving Girls' Generation. Dude, the amount of theories and things that we've been sent regarding this, even to this day.
To this day!
Describing what the heck happened, where is she now, what's the relationship, and why the hell did SM boot her off the group. So
the whole last label, not even the group, is just...
The story goes a little bit like this. There is a cryptic post right after Jessica launches one of her companies, or one of her brands, I guess. They were called Blank, a fashion company, you know, fashion brand.
Just some clothing
Blank,
merch
and then
stuff.
the post gets posted, and it's super cryptic. It goes like, hello, this is Jessica. I was given a notice of departure from Ghost Generation by the agency of September 29, and I cannot hide my shocked and upset heart about this, so I'm here to reveal my position. A bunch more. You can read the text, you can pause the video and read the text here. But the crazy thing is, like, because this came out of nowhere, everyone started thinking she either got hacked, something's wrong.
I remember where a lot of people were saying, oh, this is totally fake, don't believe in this, because like there's no way they're gonna kick her out.
People that weren't into K-pop were knowing about this. Then there's like the corporate post from SM.
Hello, this is SM.
Doing an SM post, you know, we're gonna look into this, we'll see what happens. And later on, SM actually goes ahead and confirms that Jessica will part ways with Girls' Generation.
And this is when a lot of things kind of go wrong in terms of like online. People start conspiring and making a lot of questions and things about. Some people even went as far as to say that some of the members within Girls' Generation were part of kicking her out of the group.
And things just proceed to get weirder and weirder. Obviously, like there were people that were a lot of fans from Girls' Generation were OT9ers, you know, they liked everyone. And they proceeded to follow Jessica along her journey. I mean, Jessica went ahead and she wrote novels, like romantic novels. She has 2 at the moment. And obviously her fashion companies seem to do well. I haven't followed that closely on what they became. They did evolve into Blank and something else. But the theories are either because negotiations weren't going well with the fashion companies that she was building, and then SM probably wanted a percentage of things, and then negotiations didn't go that well. Again, this is all conjecture, allegedly. Do not sue me, SM, and make me sing baggy jeans, baggy, you know.
In my baggy. You can get your clothing though from VisualFridayShop.com.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. By the time this video goes out, K-pop merch will be out as well. And this isn't the first time SM sort of seems to deal with stuff like this out of nowhere.
It kind of happens like kaboom out of nowhere, and it gets pushed against the rug, and then Red Velvet drops a new song.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy theory that whenever there's a big drama or a big controversy, Red Velvet makes a huge comeback, literally to divert attention, because they're that popular. But anyways, that's just a conspiracy theory.
It's a conspiracy theory, probably not even true.
I didn't even make it up. It was just on the interwebs. So let us know what you think actually happened up until this day. That was 2014, by the way.
Yo, 2014. Let's just talk about 2014, because it was a messy year overall for K-pop. A lot of bad things. There was a bad omen going on for the industry that year.
Then 2017. So we're jumping quite far ahead in time. We can't do year by year, because bloody hell, we'll be here all day.
Happens.
Something iconic and historic that happened was BTS winning the BBMAs for the first time, and I think it was one of the first times that K-pop artists or a K-pop group, especially from a small label like Big Hit, how ironic is that now, you know, beat people like Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Taylor Swift in the BBMAs. So that story is pretty short but pretty iconic.
Still stands as one of the most amazing moments on international music ever.
2019.
Okay.
This is to do with Produce 101, so you already know what I'm about to say.
Poor boys of X1, that's all I have to say. Damn, bro.
God bless him.
They were the real victims of this whole controversy.
So, of course, the big controversy of Produce 101 was the voting manipulation scandal, and you know, an actual investigation went ahead. People got charged. This happened all in July 2018, and it was the viewers who actually filed for a lawsuit and an investigation against Mnet.
And it just goes,
how crazy is that?
Yeah, it just goes to show about the amount of power you guys, the viewers, and the people that the audience actually have over these things.
It ended up becoming investigated by the Seoul Metropolitan Police. Several producers from the Produce 101 series were arrested then, later in November. So in a matter of months, this was resolved, which is fairly unheard of, actually. They were then sort of admitting that there was manipulation. And unfortunately, the people who actually ended up paying the price, aside from the people that, you know, went to court and went to trial, you know, all the producers,
people.
yeah, because they went to court for bribery, fraud, obstruction of business, like heavy charges. I actually do not know what happened after, whether, you know, what time they did, or if they're still in prison, or what the you do in Korea. I'm not a lawyer, but I do know from the music aspect of things that people that ended up paying the price for it was Eyes One or iZone, and definitely X1. They paid the price the most,
and I understand,
because their promotions were
and I understand that obviously they were the result of manipulated votes, and I understand why, you know, people wouldn't support something like this. But these are guys that were
nothing to
working their little butts off throughout the whole show. Also, you know, what are they up to now? This has tarnished a lot of their reputation.
Okay, the next one is quite heavy. It is 2019. Yeah, well, actually, the next two are quite heavy, and they're both in 2019. What a year that was.
Well, no, I think here's the thing. The next one, it started in 2014.
Okay.
But then it kind of got resolved, like we had closure in 2019, so it's a long time coming.
It's to do with Sungri and the big scandal that now has been so well documented, weirdly enough, by the BBC. They have a fantastic documentary on it. The Burning Sun is the documentary that, you know, a lot of information has been gathered from there if you want to watch a proper in-depth, because it is nasty shit, bro. Like, there's no way around it. But that was one of the biggest scandals, and his retirement happened in 2019, which is wild to say.
The fact that he's out here in Paris just living his life is insanity to me.
It's very bizarre. I think bizarre is the most accurate statement. It obviously dark as so, you know, if you want to learn deeper about that, you can do so in your own time, because it's up. But that was one of their biggest stories, like probably of all time in K-pop.
For sure. I think it broke through in 2014. Don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure it started.
Well, obviously rumors began, right? Because phone investigations were happening,
and then it kind of like resolved itself with jail and stuff. In 2019.
And yeah, obviously big shout out to those female reporters at the time. There was nothing really in it for them, and as a matter of fact, I think one of them, what I saw in the BBC documentary, like, was having such, you know, traumatic and the stressful time that she ended up like having a miscarriage, and it's like, oh, awful. The whole story, everyone that had anything to do either in a positive or negative manner in the story, mate, marked for life. Another moment in 2019, which now that we're in the dark route, was obviously Sulli, a former member of FX. This is something that has plagued K-pop for quite a long time. I guess now, because like mental health awareness has increased, you know, culturally it's different in different parts of the world. You don't really talk about the issues of the mind. Get fucking tough or go do one, especially in the industry, and then especially if you're a very young girl in the industry coming up, and you spend most of your life in the industry, which seemed to be Sulli's case.
I think her whole life she was in a screen. I think she became so recognizable for a lot of people, and obviously
no one had anything bad to say about that girl, dude. For so many years in the industry.
That's crazy, because obviously a lot of the investigations after her passing had to do with the cyberbullying and like the social perception of who she was.
Crazy ass fans.
And really obsessive fans. And in my personal perspective, I think a lot of things happened behind the scenes in terms of like a lack of attention to certain very alarming signs that nobody really took charge for, to protect her own well-being, and obviously led to the very sad ending.
I mean,
terrible.
It's something that unfortunately does not stop happening. We obviously have, I mean, it was bizarre because some member of our teams are familiar with Astro's Moonbin, and
And that was also another case that completely
Oh, mate, that one,
shook us. And I think
one came out of nowhere.
we had seen him live.
Literally, bro.
We had seen him on stage, and we were absolutely freaking baffled
Fantastic shape.
by his phenomenal guy overall.
And then, you never know what the hell is going on inside someone's head. And then, especially in my opinion, especially post-tour with a lot of these artists, you can't experience those types of highs and not expect lows after. There's no need to point fingers or anything like that, because it's such a tragedy. But I think there are lessons to be learned, managerial lessons. I think there are look, you hear all the tours that all these guys do and the girls. I think they should have therapists on board. I think just like they have choreographers, stage coordinators,
and
managers, physiotherapists.
But here's what happened with Sulli. After her passing, a lot of new strategies were implemented into the industry, and I think that's perhaps one of the positive aspects of something such a tragedy, because it really was. And I think
it just pisses me off that he had to come at the price or something like that. Cause
I totally agree.
Again, from an outsider's perspective, you obviously want to fight for life. No one wants to see such a world-class talent be lost, and most importantly, a friend and a daughter and a family member and someone who probably saved other people from making those types of decisions through her art. And her resilience. So it always angers me, because it's like, maybe something could have been done. She was a little ball of light, man. And then listening to her song with Dean breaks your heart. And it's brutal. The whole thing is brutal. Not my cup of tea, but it was one of the most sort of shocking moments of 2019, and probably one of the most shocking moments in the whole of Korean pop. And then seeing Astro's Moonbin have to go through that, and fucking brutal. Show business will you up, and if you want to be part of that, you better buckle the up, because you have to be tough, and also you have to build a world-class team around you, because
you need pillars of truth.
Correct.
And that's for sure.
Because things will get tough. Then other scandalous stuff that happened, shocking moments, is definitely to do with G-Idol. Sujin left. And the reason why she left, allegedly because of all the articles and stuff like that, it was mainly to do, it seemed, through bullying allegations. And then the way they were handled from both parties, I think from her part and then the part of the label, was quite poor. And then obviously fans pick a side, and then it becomes very tough. I think she ended up coming back on her own. I don't think it garnered the same amount of attention that her team or her expected. They're student allegations, and it was to do with bullying in schools.
But it also kind of spread throughout her behavior within the label, which was really hard to put a personified side to all of this.
Again, we will never really know. I don't know, maybe the students had proof, maybe something happened behind the scenes, maybe they decided to settle things outside the public eye. But it was in February where these things came up in 2021, and then she it was extortion, that type of stuff, maybe she took money or stuff like that when she was in middle school. And then there were rumors of suing back and forth, and she denied some of those. Very, very messy situation. Obviously it impacted the group, because what a member she was.
This is a case of, can you separate the artist from the art?
But also let us know your thoughts on the Sujin situation. I'm sure perhaps more details have dropped at this point. Perhaps you have made your own conjecture. Perhaps there's been more Reddit boards and more investigations by the fans. Another shocking moment was 2022. Lucas
and his hiatus
from NCT. Everyone knows why it happened. Obviously the dating scandals, the messages, manipulation stuff. He asking for money, not returning luxury items, blah blah blah. And then people in Quora end up doing threads. This thread is done by NCitizen. Serena I think is the name. And from 2020 until today, she's been gathering, I think it's a girl, could be someone else, I'm not sure, gathering information,
debunking the accusations on Lucas.
Because I'm finally done with this bullshit. That's what the and it's a fucking thread of pages and pages and pages and pages and pages, and they dissected picture by picture and stuff like that. Again, you do as you will with this stuff, but their conclusion was this is all bollocks. And I think the conclusion by most people was that this
was unfair and incredibly badly managed by the label.
And it was all make-believe. It was all manipulation. These guys are so famous.
But here's what I think, Efra, personally, between us. I believe that because to the point when the label SM had taken charge of the circumstances of this controversy,
bit too late.
It was already too late. They had to protect their perspective of themselves as a label. They had to protect more than just the member, but a group and a persona.
NCT is one of the biggest moneymakers, fan pleasers, biggest products that NCM has.
Correct. And so they had to do more than just say, oh, these are all fake allegations and brush it again under the rug, because it had gathered a lot of attention, and these are the type of controversies that end a group's career. I think they tried to manage as well as one could under those type of circumstances, but it was a little. He took so long to come back. I know.
Obviously, he did come back, and we liked it.
By the way, I loved the track.
We liked it. We showed love. We supported. What the expectations were for him to sort of return and what type of numbers or what type of attention, I do not know. I hope at least it's enough for him to make another one. He deserves it. But there was like alleged 2 victims, and then a lot of people ended up making their own sort of conclusions that this was all fake because the anonymity of things, like everyone can make anything online. There were very, very clear similarities between posts and the way they could have been manipulated and photoshopped and all this other stuff. So what a story that was. Let us know on what you've landed on at the moment regarding Lucas.
Talking about legal disputes. Oh my god.
Hybe versus Ador, or more like Bank PD versus
Min Hee-jin
and her cap. I swear to you, her Wikipedia.
Oh my god! I swear this was not planned. By the way, you can get yours at futurefridayshop.com.
Correcto. There will be K-pop merchandise by the time you go check it out. Everything we're wearing is from there. This is Champion Designer merch, and then Waleska is obviously Champion Designer merch. Everything available there. To this day, her Wikipedia page, profile picture, is that blue hat, stripe, green top.
And you know what?
Where she's out here outing, or explaining herself text-wise. And what a way to turn around her public image.
Oh, totally. The memes, though. the merch.
But also, at the beginning, so the whole situation was, I'll give you a sort of a timeline of the events. April 22nd, 2024. The big rumors of Hybe launching an audit, internal audit of Ador occur. And this, everyone's like, hey, yo, what's going on, my friend?
And everybody was like, oh my god, Ador is trying to overtake Hybe. This is an overtake. It's aggressive.
Correct. Then Mi Hee-jin accuses Hybe of undermining New Jeans' success. This is where things get super tricky, because as you've always seen with the channel and everything, we're artists first, management, labels, everything else second. Because the people who end up paying the price is the frontman, and the frontman is not Bank PD. The frontman is
New Jeans. Is
correct.
Eyelid.
It's Eyelid. It's BTS. It's 17. Whatever the hell happened, we're always artists first. Protect the lads, protect the girls, protect the boys. Eyelid makes a debut. Clear similarities. We called it in the podcast. People called it on TikTok and all this other stuff. Obvious similarities, obvious things. The timing is obviously peculiar. The debut songs were very peculiar. The sound aesthetic peculiar. Blah blah blah. And then, Min Hee-jin, she has shit to say. She claims that, they copied makeup, costumes, choreography, photos, videos, and even event appearances for Eyelid. Then, she claimed that she had filed a official complaint against Eyelid because of copycat issues,
Copycat.
Anyways, the timeline moves a few days, and this is all happening, in days, mate. So much shit's happening. Hybe then announces, this is like a few days later, April 25th, they announced that they have filed a complaint against Mi Hee-jin. And then Mi Hee-jin, ladies and gentlemen, does their iconic press conference where she goes and she exposes the text messages. She has her lawyer, sweating bullets.
It really is. I actually, that whole press conference goes from she's she's totally nuts.
Crazy.
She's crazy. What is she doing?
To actually, I think she has. I'm actually. I think I'm with her.
I think she has a point.
That's what most people were saying online, anyways. Then Hybe obviously answers back. They clap back, and they say, "Look, you're full of shit," basically. They also urged her to resign promptly from her proper management of Ador, and she had already proven herself unfit to be in charge of management.
That's right. I remember that.
Several days pass, and then now we're in May 2nd, and Mi Heejin reportedly demanded that Hybe give her authority to terminate Nugent's contract. This is what I mean. The people who lose is always the artist, man.
Yeah, because they're in the front line of fire.
Then Hybe requests shareholding meetings and blah blah blah.
A lot of boring stuff that we never got to see.
Yeah, then Ador sets an internal shareholder meeting. This is May the 10th to vote Min Hee-jin's dismissal as CEO. May 13th, Nugent's parents allegedly speak out with a new letter that made the news. It's really difficult to prove the legitimacy of this stuff. Probably true, probably not, who knows. Then Belift sues Min Hee-jin for defamation for plagiarism claims. Belift is the eyelid label, all under the big daddy.
Bang PD.
Correct. Of course, they're gonna take this stuff very seriously. May 30th, court grants Min Hee-jin injunction against Hybe, which means that they ruled in favor of Min Hee-jin following her injunction to stop Hybe from exercising their voting rights and dismissing her from the current position as CEO of Ador and kicking her off the board. So, whoa. What the hell did she show in that court?
Well, those are some turntables. Let me tell you about that.
And
Turntables.
then Hybe just went ahead and they say they respect the court's decision.
Wow, of course, because it's the freaking court. Wow.
She retains the CEO. I swear she aimed at the king, and you know that saying, it's like, if you come at the king, you better not miss. She didn't miss.
She didn't, but she had her foundation grounded.
May 31st, she does another press conference, and I think this time it was like a shit-talking press conference, because she was like,
"You ain't coming at me, bitch."
Nah, bet. Now the girls are gonna be even bigger. Obviously, I think
now you're gonna invest even more, brother.
And then Min told the press plans for upcoming Nugent's activity have been all thrown up in the air because of the ongoing long battle. The girl group had announced several music releases as well as a world tour in 2025. And my foremost goal, this is where people sort of, really went with Min Hee-jin, because it was like, well, she's really rooting for the girls. Because she was like, my foremost goal is to carry out the plans as I wanted with no problems. And now, since Hybe is now listening to my side, I hope we can amicably settle. And I think things have amicably relaxed, because
yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure if they wanted to keep going at each other's throats, they probably could.
And this is actually one of the happiest
endings.
Turnouts.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, because even if she decided to go and open her own label and debut Nugent's, they would have lost all the hype. They would have had to work everything from the ground up.
They would have lost all the hype. Keep showing the love to all of these groups, and aside from that, let us know what you guys thought about it. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, go to featurefridayshop.com, get your merch, and what video or what topics should we cover next. Goodbye.
Bye.